Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins that could be hiding right in your pocket change if you're a coin collector, a history lover, or just someone curious about how a simple penny can be worth thousands of dollars. Then today's video is going to be perfect for you. First up, the 1942 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a piece of American history from the early years of World War II. Even though it may not be rare, it carries significance as part of the wheat penny series, which spanned from 1909 to 1958 and celebrated the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. Your coin is described as being in damaged condition with some scratches, which reflects the journey it has taken through decades of circulation, daily use, and handling. While these imperfections reduce its monetary value, they also give the coin character, showing that it was once a vital part of everyday life in mid-20th century America. The absence of a mint mark indicates that it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the main production facilities for pennies during this era, and it represents one of the most widely circulated coins of its time. In 1942, the United States was fully engaged in World War II, and the economy and society were heavily influenced by the war effort. Materials were being conserved for military purposes, though pennies in 1942 were still made primarily of copper with a small proportion of tin and zinc, unlike the 1943 steel cents produced the following year. This makes your 1942 penny a standard copper-based coin, part of a period in which the Lincoln cent maintained its familiar design. Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse continues to be the defining feature, with his bearded profile, his deep-set eyes, and the word liberty on the left. The date 1942 sits prominently on the right, and the reverse showcases the iconic wheat ears framing 1 cent and United States of America, along with a national motto, E pluribus unum, despite the damage and scratches on your coin. These design elements are still discernible, and the coin remains a recognizable piece of the Lincoln wheat penny series. The condition of your coin is described as damaged, which in numismatic terms means it has suffered from significant wear, handling, or environmental effects over the years. Damage can include deep scratches, bent edges, discoloration, corrosion, or other imperfections that reduce both the eye appeal and the collector value. While a coin in such a condition may not command high prices, it still holds interest for collectors who are focused on completing détaillement sets or preserving historical coins. Scratches, while reducing aesthetic appeal, are expected on coins that circulated for decades. And in the case of a 1942 penny, they are part of the story that reflects the life of the coin in everyday commerce. In terms of market value, a 1942 penny without mint mark in damaged condition with scratches is generally modest. Most coins in this state sell for a few cents above face value, often between 3 and 10 cents, depending on the severity of the damage and the remaining detail visible on the coin. It is unlikely to attract a premium price because it is a relatively common date and the damage further lowers its value. Coins in better condition, such as very fine or extra fine grades, typically sell for 25 cents to 50 cents, while uncirculated examples with full original luster can reach $1 to $2 or more. Despite its limited monetary value, your coin is still collectible for those who wish to represent the year 1942 in their Lincoln wheat penny collection. The historical context of the 1942 penny also adds significance beyond its face value. Pennies like this were used in everyday transactions, from buying newspapers and candy to paying for streetcars and small household items. The coin may have circulated widely during the early war years, touching countless hands, and the scratches and damage are physical evidence of that history. It is a tangible reminder of the lives of people during a pivotal period in American history. when every coin counted and the nation was focused on both domestic and international challenges, even in damaged condition. The 1942 Lincoln Wheat penny represents a piece of numismatic and cultural history. Collectors value such coins for the role they play in completing sets and for the story they tell about the life of a coin. While it may not be worth a significant amount in today's market, typically only a few cents above its face value, it remains an important example of mid-20th century American currency, a small yet meaningful artifact from the World War II era. Its scratches and imperfections serve as reminders of its journey through time, making it a collectible item for enthusiasts, educators, and anyone interested in the tangible history of everyday American life. Next up, the 1937 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark is a coin that holds a special place for collectors who focus on subtle variations in the Lincoln cent series. Even though it is not one of the extremely rare issues, the large date variety adds a touch of interest for those who study minor differences and want a representative coin in their collection. Your coin is described as being in good condition with some scratches, which shows that it has circulated and experienced decades of use, yet retains enough detail to appeal to collectors. The absence of a mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the main facilities producing Lincoln wheat pennies at the time. The large date variety simply means that the numerals in the year 1937 are slightly bigger than the small date version, which was produced in smaller quantities. This subtle difference does not dramatically increase value, but adds a collectible element for enthusiasts looking to complete a set with all varieties. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, first issued in 1909, was designed by Victor David Brenner and was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. By 1937, the series had been in circulation for nearly 3 decades, and the design remained largely unchanged, with Lincoln's right-facing portrait on the obverse and the iconic wheat ears on the reverse. The obverse displays Lincoln's carefully detailed hair, beard, and facial features, with the word Liberty to the left and the date to the right. The reverse shows 2 wheat stalks curving along the edges, framing 1 cent and United States of America, along with the national motto, E pluribus unum, even after more than 80 years. This design continues to be admired for its simplicity and historical significance. The large date 1937 variation provides a slightly different aesthetic for collectors who study the subtle changes in the numerals, giving the coin a special characteristic that distinguishes it from the small date issue. Your coin is in good condition, which in numismatic terms means it has seen circulation but retains clear major details. Lincoln's portrait shows some wear, particularly on the high points of his hair and cheek, but the overall features remain recognizable. The wheat ears on the reverse also show moderate wear but remain identifiable. The scratches on your coin slightly reduce its aesthetic appeal, yet they do not eliminate its value entirely. Many collectors understand that coins from this era were used extensively in daily transactions, and minor surface marks are expected on coins that circulated for decades, even in good condition with scratches. The 1937 large date wheat penny offers a tangible connection to the everyday life of Americans during the late 1930s. In terms of market value, the 1937 large date penny without mint mark in good condition with some scratches is modestly priced. Most examples in this condition sell for approximately 50 cents to $2 in today's market. The value depends on the severity of wear and the visibility of details, but the coin's common date and high mintage keep prices relatively low compared to rarer or uncirculated varieties. Higher-grade coins, such as very fine or extra-fine examples, can sell for $3 to $5, and uncirculated coins with strong red luster may reach $10 or more, depending on their preservation and eye appeal. The large date variety does not usually command a major premium in circulated grades. But collectors appreciate this subtle difference and are willing to pay slightly more for a complete collection that includes this variation. The historical context of this coin adds further significance. In 1937, America was still recovering from the Great Depression, and pennies like this one were used extensively for everyday purchases, from newspapers to candy and small household items. Your coin may have passed through countless hands, been dropped or carried in pockets, and spent decades circulating before eventually being preserved. The scratches and wear on the coin are a testament to that long history. And while they reduce monetary value, they increase the coin's authenticity and connection to the past. Coins like this one are not just currency. They are artifacts that tell the story of everyday life in 1930s America. Collectors today still pursue 1937 wheat pennies to complete their date-and mint collections. Even though it is a common date, having a good condition example of the large date variation is a satisfying addition to a set. Your coin, with visible details, identifiable large date, and intact design elements, fits well within that collector interest. While it may not be worth a high price in today's market, typically 50 cents to $2, it remains a meaningful piece of numismatic history. A tangible reminder of the Lincoln wheat penny's enduring design and its role in American life for decades. Next up, the 1945 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark is a coin that represents a significant period in American history. A time when World War II was drawing to a close and the country was beginning to adjust to post-war life, even though it is not considered a rare coin. The large date variety adds a small but noticeable element of interest for collectors, especially those focused on completing date and mint mark sets or who appreciate subtle design differences. Your coin is described as being in fine condition with some scratches, showing that it has seen circulation and passed through many hands over the decades. The absence of a mint mark tells us that it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, the largest of the U.S. mints and responsible for striking the majority of coins during that era. In 1945, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of Lincoln wheat pennies, and the coin remained a key part of everyday commerce. Pennies were used in all sorts of small transactions, from buying newspapers and candy to paying for postage and other minor purchases. Your coin's journey through circulation likely involved countless exchanges, giving it the natural wear and scratches that collectors now observe. The fine condition grade indicates that, although it has experienced moderate circulation, most of the major design details remain visible. Lincoln's portrait on the obverse is still recognizable, with the contours of his hair, beard, and facial features apparent. Even though the high points show signs of wear, the large date variety of 1945 is characterized by slightly longer or more prominent numerals in the year, a feature that differentiates it from the small date 1945 issue. While the difference may be subtle to the casual observer, collectors enjoy these distinctions because they add depth and completeness to a wheat penny collection. Even in fine condition with scratches, your coin preserves the essential details that define the large date, making it a valuable piece for those building full date and mint sets. While large date variations are not typically worth dramatically more than the common versions in circulated grades, having one in acceptable condition remains desirable for hobbyists and casual collectors alike. In terms of market value, a 1945 large date Lincoln penny without a mint mark, in fine condition with some scratches, is modest. Today, such coins usually sell in the range of 10 to 25 cents. Depending on the severity of the scratches, the wear, and the coin's overall eye appeal, the scratches reduce value slightly compared to a clean, fine-grade coin, but the design details are still readable and intact, maintaining the coin's place as a collectible item. Coins in very fine or extremely fine condition would generally sell for 50 cents to $1, while uncirculated examples with original red or reddish-brown luster could reach $2 to $5 or more. Despite its relatively low monetary value, the coin's historical significance and role in the wheat penny series make it a meaningful item for POS collectors. The historical context of this coin further enhances its appeal. The 1945 penny was struck as the world celebrated the end of a global conflict. Yet coins remained essential in everyday life. Many people carried pennies in their pockets, jars, and purses, using them for minor transactions, saving them, or passing them along to others. Each scratch and mark on your coin reflects its journey, telling a story that goes beyond numbers and market prices. It is a tangible link to the mid-1940s, when the nation was focused on rebuilding and returning to normalcy after years of wartime effort and sacrifice. Collectors today continue to pursue 1945 wheat pennies because they are a key part of completing a full Lincoln cent set. Even though the coin is common, the large date variation provides a small point of interest and makes the coin slightly more special than a typical 1945 penny. Your coin, in fine condition with some scratches, is an accessible and affordable way for collectors to own a piece of history without paying the premiums associated with higher grade or uncirculated coins. Its combination of wear, age, and surviving design details ensures that it continues to have value both as a collectible and as a historical artifact. Next up, the 1926 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, large date, without a mint mark and featuring a tick line, is a coin that combines historical significance with subtle variety that appeals to collectors. This coin comes from a period when the United States was experiencing the Roaring Twenties, a time of economic growth, cultural change, and technological innovation. Just a few years before the onset of the Great Depression, the Lincoln Wheat Penny series, first introduced in 1909, had become firmly established by the mid-1920s, and collectors today value these coins for their historical context, the enduring design, and the unique variations such as the large date or tick line varieties. Your coin is described as being in good condition with some scratches, which reflects decades of circulation while still retaining enough detail to be recognizable and collectible. The absence of a mint mark indicates that this coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the primary facility for striking Lincoln cents at the time. In 1926, Philadelphia struck more than 140 million Lincoln wheat pennies, making this coin a moderately common date. However, the large date variety sets it apart from the small date version, as the numerals in the year are slightly taller and more prominent. Additionally, the tick line, small mark or die variation often found on certain 1926 cents, adds an extra element of interest for specialized collectors. Variations like these do not necessarily make a coin rare, but they do provide an opportunity for collectors to complete more detailed and nuanced collections that highlight subtle differences between die varieties. In terms of market value, a 1926 Lincoln wheat penny, large date, without mint mark and with tick line in good condition with scratches, is considered modestly valuable. Today, such coins typically sell for around $2 to $5, depending on the severity of the scratches, overall eye appeal, and clarity of the tick line variety. Coins in very fine or extra fine condition generally command higher prices, ranging from $5 to $10, while uncirculated examples with full original luster can exceed $15. Although the coin is not rare or exceptionally expensive, its combination of age, design, and die variety provides sufficient interest for collectors, especially those seeking to complete specialized collections of large date or tick line. Lincoln wheat pennies. The historical context of this coin adds to its significance. In 1926, pennies like this one were essential to everyday life. used to purchase small goods, pay for services, or save in jars and envelopes. The coin likely passed through countless hands, accumulating scratches and wear as a result. These marks are a visual record of its circulation. And while they slightly lower its market value, they also serve as a tangible reminder of the coin's journey through time. Each scratch and worn area connects the modern collector to the daily life of Americans nearly a century ago, offering a small but meaningful window into the economy and culture of the 1920s. Collectors today continue to pursue 1926 Lincoln wheat pennies for several reasons, completing a full wheat penny set from 1909 to 1958 requires including all date and mint mark variations. And specialized collectors also seek out die varieties such as large dates and tick line varieties, even in good condition with some scratches. Your coin is a valuable addition to such collections because it preserves the essential design, features, and illustrates the subtle variations that numismatists study and appreciate. It is accessible for collectors on a budget while still providing historical and numismatic interest. In conclusion, your 1926 Lincoln wheat penny, large date, without mint mark, and with tick line, in good condition with some scratches, has a market value today of approximately $2 to $5. While not a high-value rarity, it is a collectible coin with historical significance, an interesting die variation, and a tangible connection to the Roaring Twenties. Its age, design, and minor imperfections tell a story of everyday American life nearly a century ago, making it a meaningful piece for both collectors and history enthusiasts alike. Next up, the 1935 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny. Large date without a mint mark is a coin that represents an era of American history that is both challenging and fascinating. This period, in the middle of the Great Depression, was marked by economic hardship. Yet coins like the Lincoln cent remained an essential part of everyday life. The large date variety of the 1935 penny distinguishes it from its small date counterpart, offering collectors a subtle but meaningful difference that enhances its appeal. Your coin, described as being in very fine condition with some scratches, retains a high level of detail despite decades of circulation, making it a noteworthy piece for any collection. The absence of a mint mark indicates that this coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which was responsible for producing the majority of Lincoln pennies during this period. The large date variation of the 1935 penny is characterized by slightly taller or more prominent numerals in the year, a feature that experienced collectors look for when seeking complete sets or die varieties. While this does not make the coin rare in the way some earlier or error coins are, it does provide an additional layer of collectability. Coins with subtle variations, such as large dates, small dates, or die markers are often sought after by enthusiasts who take pleasure in the nuances of numismatics, and they often hold more interest than a standard circulated example, even in very fine condition with minor scratches. Your coin presents the design clearly enough to be appreciated and studied by collectors. The design of the 1935 Lincoln wheat penny remains classic and instantly recognizable. Abraham Lincoln's right-facing portrait appears on the obverse with detailed hair, beard, and facial features that, even with some wear, still convey the dignity and seriousness intended by the designer, Victor David Brenner. The word Liberty appears to Lincoln's left, and the date, in this case the large 1935 numerals, sits to the right in terms of market value. A 1935 large date Lincoln penny without a mint mark in very fine condition with some scratches is generally valued higher than coins in lower grades, though it remains an affordable collectible. Most examples in very fine condition sell for around $3 to $7 in today's market, depending on the severity of the scratches, eye appeal, and overall sharpness of the design. Coins in extremely fine or uncirculated grades can sell for $10 or more. particularly if they retain original luster or have attractive color tones. While the 1935 large date penny is not rare compared to earlier issues or error coins, its age, design, and collectible variety make it a desirable addition to both general and specialized. Lincoln Cent collections. The historical context of this coin adds depth to its appeal. In 1935, the United States was navigating the middle of the Great Depression. Pennies like this one were essential for everyday purchases, from newspapers and candy to streetcars and small household items. Your coin likely passed through many hands, accumulating light scratches and wear along the way. These imperfections serve as physical reminders of its circulation history and add authenticity, connecting modern collectors to a period when even small change played a crucial role in daily life. Coins are not just currency, they are artifacts of the social and economic conditions of their time. Collectors today continue to value 1935 Lincoln wheat pennies for several reasons. Completing a full wheat penny set from 1909 to 1958 requires acquiring coins from each year and, when possible, each mint mark. Specialized collectors also seek large date and small date variations to enhance the completeness of their collections. Your coin, being in very fine condition, offers clear design details that make it an excellent example for collectors who want a well-preserved representation of the 1935 large date, even with minor scratches. The coin is desirable because it retains its character and demonstrates the wear typical of a circulated CD coin from this era. In conclusion, your 1935 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, large date without mint mark, in very fine condition with some scratches, has a realistic market value of approximately $3 to $7. While not an extremely rare or high-value coin, it is a meaningful collectible with historical significance, a subtle design variation, and a tangible connection to the everyday life of Americans during the mid-1930s. Its design, condition, and age make it a valuable addition to any collection, providing both educational and historical value, while representing a small but important part of U.S. numismatic history.